All right. The continuation of this conversation, because it's so riveting and I've got a lot to say. I've got to figure out how to date. And you are on this dating journey with me. So, in the comments and wherever, call me, text me, let me know what you think about maneuvering dating with people you're not sure about. Like, you want to figure out if you like them, but you don't want to lead them on. I'm in this like middle, the the man in question for today. I don't want to lead you on. And I also like almost don't want to accept too many invitations, especially to hang out at your place, because I just don't want you to get the wrong impression. I don't want you to think, and also I don't really want to be in your safe zone. And that means that maybe I don't feel super comfortable because you haven't made me feel like, you know, a non-object. Like I feel fine. I don't feel unsafe. Otherwise, I wouldn't be there. But I don't feel like this is, strictly platonic or can be platonic or just we're just hanging out. It feels like there's some ulterior motive a little bit. And whether there is or not, I don't even want to feel that way. But that's something I'm like, well, is it just me because I'm thinking too much about it and we really haven't had a conversation, or are you just moving in that way? Like it's not like you're really touching me or anything. You might like try to grab my hand and I'm like, no thank you. Um because that would be really misleading at this point. Like I'm not about to just hold your hand unless like we are actually homies and I know, okay, you're holding my hand because I'm about to fall or something. But yeah, no. So, do I accept invitations? Do I even go on a date with you? If you remember to ask, or if you do still want to go out, like, should I say no? Should I just be like, hey, I just want to let you know I'm not sure about where this is going? I don't know. It seems kind of like a lot. I think maybe a date is good, just one date. Have conversations, be meaningful, and go from there. There's really nothing to lose, maybe nothing to gain. It's just all a big bag of nothing. So, in me trying to figure out how to to, be delicate on this fine line between romance and non-romance. Um, I think personally, I'm not going to probably hit him up. I did the other day because, I'm not really thinking too deep into it, I guess. But I just, yeah, it's weird because it's like it should be fine me knowing that he wants to date me. That should excite me, but not excite me like, oh my god, I'm dateable. I'm like, no. But it's just interesting that me knowing and feeling like he wants more is throwing me off, and it's kind of like catching me. I don't know if it's catching me off guard, but it's just not. I don't know. It's not comforting me, I guess. It's not disrupting my peace, but I'm just curious about like how I feel. Like I haven't really been lately in a situation where someone wants to date me and I'm just like, yeah, I guess. Like let's do it. Um but I don't know, there's just something about him that I feel like I have to be abundantly clear. And so when I say something, I need him to really digest it and know that I am an individual. So whatever you think women like to hear, don't. because I'm not going to be shy about telling you. Like, I'm talking to you like it's HR, because I don't know where you're at. It seems like you need a little guidance more than the other guys, where I'm just like, wow, I feel like we have great conversation, great chemistry, and you're not really trying to push up on me like that. You're not trying to like grab my hand. I'm giving you my hand. Like, I'm trying to grab your hand. um, I like being the pursuer, I guess, when it comes to physical things, because I know that guys, they'll be on go. If you tell them, they're gonna go. But for women, it's different. So I feel like you really have to, as a man, ease into it. And again, like, you don't have to ask for consent with every move you make. It's like, hey, can I hug you? Can I look at you? Can I? No, but I would say let the woman lead, just because you don't want to be in a situation where you're making someone uncomfortable. That's not a situation you want to be in. Um, and I think most women have been there when we've just been on the receiving end of some guy giving us like kind of unwanted affection, and it's like, I don't really know what to do here. I'm not sure. Do I say no? Do I say yes? I'm not sure that I want it. But when you're not sure, the answer is no. Like, I feel like if it's not a hell yes, it's a no. So that's kind of the motto. I mean, with dating, it doesn't have to be like a hell yes, because I'm still learning and I'm growing. But when it comes to the physical stuff, I need to lead. So I can make that clear. The other stuff, it's not, it doesn't have as much weight to me. Like, I don't know, opening a door, or like, texting me. I don't feel like I need to lead in that way, because I don't want to and I won't. But when it comes to like physical, because I mean, come on, the physical stuff can lead to so much pain and discomfort. So I think that it kind of behooves men to lean in a little bit, just like test the water. They're like, okay, maybe you're looking at me, I'm looking at you. You might lean in a little bit, I might lean in too. But don't just go for it. Because if I don't like it, now you've ruined the whole situation. Now I can't be friends with you. I don't want to be friends with you. Don't even look at me. If you see me, you don't know me. So maybe he's the type of person that just hasn't had to learn that lesson, hasn't had to really like take it slow, because let's be for real, it's 2024, 2025. People aren't really oh so wholesome. There's not a lot of encouragement to be. There's not a lot of influence, or as much as there is on the other side, to be wholesome and just be yourself. And like, hey, I know that you're watching these videos of these girls twerking and talking about all sorts of craziness, but like, I just want you to know that's not me, and I'm serious. Like, I'm not just yanking your chain, because these guys think all women are lying. And I'm like, yeah, maybe we might exaggerate numbers sometimes, or just like, I'm not really into that. I don't really be going out. And it's like, so why the bartender know you? What? Come on. So I get it, but this is time for me also. In addition to communicating, just like, there will be signs, like, if I put on music, it's gonna be wholesome. Maybe I have to just put on gospel around him, just so he knows I'm not joking. And who knows? Maybe he might think that's an extra challenge, an extra like. But I understand that signs have power and influence, and these other guys that I feel comfortable with, and that never even give me any inclination that they're thinking about me in any like sexually driven way. They can tell. They're like, oh my God, like, you're a good girl. You are a prude. And that's not necessarily true, but I'd rather that. I'm realizing, okay, I'd rather you think that I'm this so that you perform a certain way. And then I can like break down like certain things that aren't true. It's like, hey, okay, like, I did have a whole interesting moment in my 20s of experimentation. I made it out. Thank you, Jesus. Like, for real. Thank you, Lord Almighty. But I'd rather add, like, I guess this isn't a situation where I want to have to break down why I'm not a Meg the Stallion or Sexy Red. Like, I won't even listen to that. Like, I do not have a single. No, I'm on my playlist. It's Billie Eilish. I got a little Taylor Swift in there, a little Tay Tay. Not really though. Maybe one song. Maybe. I don't even know if I added it. So, just like understand when you're seeing things about me that it's an indication of kind of who I am and what I like. So I might just have to be a little more overt with this man and just like really bring the church out and just talk as much about God as possible. Not in a fake way though. So it'll happen, and I end up talking about God in most conversations, anyways. Just because it flows out, like me really diving in and wanting to lean more into my spirituality and my faith has really impacted the way that I speak and my heart and everything. So it's gonna flow. It's just gonna flow. But I might just have to reiterate some things to this man and say like, hey, remember when I was talking about values that one time when we were talking? And how I said like I would never say never. But the goal is to not move in with the boyfriend. The move and my plan is to move in with my husband. And that's that. And he's like, what? I don't understand that. And I said, that's cool. It's not for you to understand. This isn't for you to tell me to move a certain way. And I'm not telling you this so that, I get a gauge on what you would want. I don't really care what you want. This is what I want. This is what I'm doing. If you want to be a part of this train, cool. But know what train you're getting on. And don't try to change the conductor. Like, don't try to be like, oh, okay, well, I knew I was getting on this train, but I thought you thought wrong. You can't influence me. Like, you cannot. So unless you are really, compatible with me, just don't even hop on. Because then I feel like I'm just a placeholder and you really are just like a codependent person that just needs a woman. And you can get one of those elsewhere. You can get just a woman wherever. It doesn't have to be me. And it won't be me. It really will never be me. Because I'm not going to waste my time with someone who wants to change me in a way that is not productive. And when I find like that person that I really want to grow with, of course, change will happen. I want to continue to grow, and that's change. But you also don't want a woman that has no say in her own life, or somebody that's just too malleable, that doesn't really have like anything to stand on, anything firm. And I'm growing a very firm, grounded foundation. So I want you to know that. And I want you to know why and what and how and all those things, so that you can also make an educated decision on what you want to do. And I'll course correct you. Like I feel like I'm doing or have kind of done with this guy. I'm like, oh, did you mean you? Not we, right? Like, I have no problem letting you know how I feel. And there can be moments where I can like pivot a little, even mid conversation, if you say something that I agree with. It's not like, oh, I'm standing on this and nothing can impact me. It's like, if we agree on something and you give me a new perspective and point of view, I'm like, wow, I didn't think about that. That's an interesting way to look at it. That makes sense. I might actually like that. We'll see. Then that's fine. But I'm standing firm because I know what's out there. I know that there are people that I am instantly, connected to and have chemistry with. I know that exists. I know that there are people that are okay waiting. Okay, just like getting to know me and getting to know the person for who they are and not like what they can be. Like, don't date me for potential, and I won't date you for potential. Which sounds like I shouldn't date this man. But like, core value type vibes. Like, we can figure it out. I don't see a problem with like going on a date or multiple. Like, we'll see. Like I don't want to just make assumptions and then make decisions based off of those assumptions without any real conversation, but like, you're on thin ice, buddy. Like, all of these men are on thin ice because I'm going to come out hot. Like, it's going to be kind, very humble, very sweet. You won't even realize what conversation you're about to get into because it's going to be calm and it's going to be gradual. And I'm like, hey, have you thought of this? You know, I'm curious, and I want you to be curious. I want you to really have had the experiences that you need to have so that when you land on me, it's because you know what else is out there and you're choosing me intentionally. And that's the same opportunity that I want to have for myself. So, all in all, I'm just going to take it day by day, step by step. If I go on a date soon with this particular man, I'm just going to communicate. I'm like, hey, what are you looking for? What does a partnership look like to you? And I want you to answer first because I don't want you to adjust anything based off of what I say because you just want to date me. And I'm not saying I'm just so irresistible, these men can't help it. But I know people are flawed. And I know that people sometimes, they when they want something or think they want something, they might just, want to put their best foot forward. Understood. And I do as well, but I'm also fine with you seeing a little dirt. Like, I'm not going to take my skeletons out or anything, but I want you to see all of who I am, the good, bad, ugly, whatever. In its due time, of course, where it makes sense. But even though I am a very simple girl, like, I don't ask for a lot. I think I'm an everything friend. Like, we can go to 7-Eleven, we can go to Nobu. I mean, not Nobu because I actually, whatever. Um, but I am multifaceted for sure. I am multidimensional. I have many layers. I'm not one note. So it's going to be a constant conversation about just like who we are, who we want to be. And I like that. And I want someone else to like that. I want you to want to have conversations and learn me because it makes me more comfortable being who I am and continuing whatever it is. So we'll see. I'll probably have an update for you in the next therapy session. Thank you for listening. See you next time.